Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Train Sim World 5 ASMR. So, alright, we're now working for Norfolk Southern Railroad. Absolutely love the scenery here, guys. This stuff is great. I mean, I understand this is kind of like a reboot of the Train Sim World 3, but they did really good at doing this. Like, it's really good, especially on the live timetable. But anyways, we're going to be completing our work order. In the last episode, we carried a batch of empties, a total of, I think it was 20 empty cars to the South Fork loading yard. That's part of the Wimber Mining Company's line. So they've already got us a loaded coal train, which is, you can see, which is right there. We're going to be hauling this up to Cresson. It's a loading yard. Cresson is an area where a loading yard, they got a bunch of chemical plants and stuff like that there. I think they're going to be using the coal for energy, but they should have some empties that we can pick up. But since I just got off the phone with dispatch, we are going to be, I don't know if you can see it, but way down there, those are 3, but there's actually 2 more of the EC or ES44 Norfolk Southern Edition. So that is what we are fisting to attach to. I'm gonna make sure we're undone from here before we take off. Yeah, let me see. Alright. No, I don't want it locked. I want it unlocked. There we go. Alright. So we're going to climb up here, and then we're going to hit dispatch up and see if we can get cleared to go ahead and get this train ready to go to Cresson. We're going to have a total of 6 engines pulling, 4 GP38s and 2 of the ESC44. I call them the big boy Norfolk Southern engines, but anyways, let's go ahead and get this. Okay, everything's still how I left it. All right, let's hit dispatch up. So we want to be able to get back up to here, so we're going to have to move up the line where we can clear this switch track. So probably about right here should work. It's only 130 something yards up. Ditch the, ain't really nothing to before we start loading. Turn that off. Oh, wrong one, bell. Alright, let's see. Give it some juice. We ain't rolling for some reason. There we go. Oh yeah, make sure, throw this thing back into neutral before we even do this. Let me set the brake again. Alright, I forgot. Always check this. Make sure that this says on. That's the reason why we wasn't moving up underneath a 1 notch of power. Oh, not 2. Come on now. Alright. So, come on, what is going on? There we go. Alright. Now we should start moving. We've already blew the horn. That was good enough. I'm not doing it again to deal with the bell. Give it a notch too. Get it going. Alright, let's check our drone. See what we got going on here. And check some of this beautiful view out. Dang, we left the door open. Got to make sure we clear this track back. All right, we're good there. So we'll go ahead and hit the brakes. All right, my bad there. I was trying to get readjusted in my chair. All right, so originally you would have a dispatcher that would hang off the back. Not a dispatcher. Wow. Anyways, your God, man, I had a brain fart. Anyways, you would have your helper back here, your conductor back here. He'd be hanging out. Like I said, we got to move up the line. So we got to let dispatch know what we're doing. Set path. And we are going to come back all the way to here. that should give us enough room to be able to pass the switch track and do it. Hold on, let me do something before we do anything. I gotta shut this door, and we'll open up this one since we're backing up. All right, dump the brakes. I don't know why the camera is here. It's supposed to be back here. Anyways, yeah, we would be right here because we would have to hook up. We'd be hanging off. Oh. Never gets tired. Get off of here. Alright, well, see, we're kind of in a blind view here. We got a good view going on this way. We just mainly want to keep an eye on our speed, make sure we don't get over 10 miles per hour, I think is what the speed limit is up in here. So, just keep eyes on things. Whoa, wait a minute. How did... Uh-oh, yeah. So go ahead and apply the brakes because something's done messed up. Oh my lord. Alright, what happened? I don't know why it would route me through there. Okay, alright. Anyway, every once in a while, yeah, dispatch does mess up. So what we're gonna do is we're going to we'll pull back forward enough where we can miss this. We'll go ahead and get this in gear. I have to make sure that this track is going in the correct. Alright, let's see. Did we clear it? I'm gonna have to pull up a little bit more. Pulled that one too early. Yeah, because we want to be on this line. Alright, so let's go down here and hit the switch. That should have done it, but we're going to check the map just to make sure. No, it didn't. I don't know. Why does it keep changing it? Okay. Alright, so every once in a while, if this starts happening, if you can't get the tracks to switch correctly, what you may have to do is you may have to set like via points. Like, say you want to go to here, and you know, if you keep pulling forward, eventually you're going to get in front of this. So, but we want to come through here. Yeah, right, my bad, wrong track again. Right here, alright. There, see how it just switched on its own? Alright, now we're good. Let's go ahead and throw this thing in reverse. Give it about 3 notches. That's good enough. I know everybody can hear at least one horn honk. Let's catch this view. Alright, 10 miles per hour is the move in here, so I know we're kind of moving a little bit faster than 10 right now, so we'll throw some of them independent brakes, which that's the only thing we got. An independent brake, if people are new to this, is just the brake for your locomotive. Train brake is locomotive plus cars. Well, we don't have any cars, so kind of self-explanatory as to which brakes that we're using. But yeah, we got hooked up from dispatch. They're going to let us take, alright, you see the 2 down there, not these 3 up here. These have to stay here for the mining company, but the other 2 that are parked behind this, yeah buddy, that's the ones that we're fixing to get. And this is a ES44. I may have said that wrong in the previous episode, and if I did, I'm sorry guys, it really has been a while since I've been home here. There's been a lot of stuff going on, but we got lucky. Dispatch is going to allow us to take these two down here once we get all this stuff assembled. Because we're definitely going to need the extra power pulling 40 loaded coal cars. So it's going to be a different setup. I'm going to show y'all how to do multi-setups where you're using two different types of engine. Because your radio comm, where it says where I was telling you about the DISP button, turn on your radio, that will control all the trains, including these GP38s, because they're radio controlled to operate up underneath control of the ES44s. And there's our other train that we're going to be hooking to. We're just going to go ahead and let this thing roll as far back as it will. Hold on, let me give it some brakes, because it's already saying we're going to fail. I mean, man, dispatch is being picky today, boy, I'm telling you. Alright, we want to come back to, we got to get off the switch track. So alright, now there we go, we're cleared now. Yeah, because if you move too much, you can roll too far and it'll fail you. It'll just end it right there. So if you've done a lot of prep and moving cars around, you better get used to making some saves, because stuff can happen real quick. Like, you'll join me in the hours of recorded footage that were completely wasted because something went wrong. I would love to live in a house like right next to the train track. I miss my house in Bartlett so much. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, so we're going to be moving back forwards now. Let's let dispatch know where we're going. We're moving up right to there. Alright. Of course, our little guy, he would get down. He'd be walking past. You gotta walk up here, and he can hang right there. Alright, so we're just moving up there to connect to them. Forward. Alright. I cannot deal with that. Alright. Let's go back to his view. We're going to have to ease this up because we didn't open up our cut bar, so let's give it a little bit of break. But I think we did open up the cut bar on this. As long as one of them's open, it should couple. So let me kind of slow this down a little bit more. Yeah, we should be good. Boom. Alright, now you hear all that air going? Alright, so that means that we gotta go change the air valve. We'll change this one once we get the other engine over here, because we're gonna have to set all these to trail. I don't know why. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to turn off the lights too. Oh my god, dude, I can't see nothing inside because of the lights. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, I guess we gotta turn off all these lights and stuff. Come on now. There. Alright. We're gonna leave our number lights on. We gotta have them on. And we'll deal with the air brake problem here in just a second. Let me see. If that is lead. Trail. Alright. You just gotta reset these brake valves. Let them know what's going on. thing. Trail. Alright, so we got all this set up for trail. We got an independent set, so it's not going to go anywhere. Alright, now, here we go. We're fixing to pick up these two. Let's go ahead and get off this track. Now, with all this power we got 4 engines, and we're fixing to grab 2 more. These are actually trains that need to be serviced. They're making their way up to let me see what the yard is up north that we are going to be going to. We're going to be going to the Altoona, or yeah, I guess that's how you say it, Altoona yard, whatever that is. But it's a big maintenance slash, they got a ton of freight coming out of there, so I know we'll be able to get us some work, you know, get us a load out of there, some freight to haul. But I think these things are pretty much set up. Yeah. Okay, so we just gave up this over here, but we'll still be able to get to it. We want to make sure that our generator's turned on. Go ahead and hit our lights. We don't need that. You will have to set up your air brake deal, so you need to go to that. This needs to be set to lead. We're in driver mode. What in the world? Alright, so something's up. Oh yeah, we gotta put our reverser in. That may have been what it was. We'll do that. Set our independent brake. We are going to turn on our banking comm. That's what it was. I couldn't remember. Turn on distributive power. We don't need window heaters. We ain't got nothing to worry. I guess we'll turn the refrigerator on in case somebody wants to keep a cold drink or something. Alright, what is this? Front number lights on. Alright, so we got our number lights on. That's pretty much it. You don't have to mess with any of this other stuff, but this is the part right here that can kind of be a pain. That we're going to turn on our cross lights. I get distracted with these lights, so let me go ahead and do this. We don't need emergency lights. Alright, so click on the screen in the center. You want to go down here. Let's just exit out of this. That way it'll give it a chance to refresh. You want to go down to 1 for the air brake menu. You want to set to, I think it's either it may be cut out, and then we're going to switch that to lead. And then you want to go F6 to change. Now you see how it's set. It changed everything up to here. So that should be it. That should be all we have to do to get this thing running. Let's let dispatch know where we're going. We're going to pull up to oh my god, this thing gets on my nerves sometimes. Alright, we're going to pull up to there. I hope I got the brakes done right. Let's go ahead and give it 1 throttle of power. Open up the door. Alright, so yeah, we are moving already. I don't know if we're moving up underneath our own power. Yeah, we're moving up underneath our own power. These things are like really quiet. They are in the run position. They're supposed to be on. It may just be because you got 4 other engines over here running. This stuff's going to be crazy. This train's going to be loud. Oh my god, is it going to be loud? Alright, whoa. Ooh, man, that was so close. Oh man, I thought we was going to hit that. Well, I guess it was that other track would hit it for sure. There ain't no doubt about that. My bad, guys. Keep bumping this mic. Alright. Let's go ahead and throw our conductor out here. He's going to have to be back here on the end of this thing. He's going to catch it. Oh, right there. He got it. Alright. Go ahead and throw the brakes on because we've achieved our area. Alright. Cat, get down and quit trying to play with my mic. I got a cat that loves getting in my lap and swatting at my mic. But anyways, alright, let's go ahead and get connected. Alright, it looks like the switch track did do, but we're going to have to operate this cut bar. We're going to have to unlock it. We don't have to switch back to the front position to do this. So, dump the brake. There it goes. Alright, we're moving. On this one, you have like 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3 on the notches indicator. So, kind of have to watch it, what's going on. What in the world? Okay. See, we're already messing up. This is crazy. I don't know why it didn't switch the track right. We was pulled up far enough. Alright, now pay attention to this because it's 630 yards. You will fail this. You can't roll past that part. Oh man, we're on a hill or something because this thing is flying right now. Alright, right here. Alright, so let's see what's going on. We got something going on with the switch track. We want that one there. Okay, that's what it was. We was just pulled too far back and the, let me deal with this. Oh my god, dude. Man, I wish there was a way. Wait a minute, maybe there is a way you can do that in here. One of these trains, you can turn off the bell and make it where it's just the horn. And my luck, it's not this one, so... make sure your banking comm is on. Remember, every time you set this path, it will sometimes reset it. So, throw it up into 1.5 power. Man, I'm so hyped to carry this. This is going to be a pretty big train. We're going to have a ton of power, though. We're not going to have no problem pulling these hills. Go ahead and throw about 20% of brakes into it. Still make sure your cut bar is unlocked. About 10% brakes and boom! There we go. Alright, now, conductor would get down, he would go up here and be walking now, because we're going to have a lot of paperwork on this, because we are actually hauling freight to a company. We're not just hauling empties, so let's go ahead. While he's dealing with his job, we're going to go deal with ours, which is, we got a lot of stuff to do. We got to release 3 handbrakes. We got to set up our trailing locomotives to, you know, to go behind this one. I think I got to pull a reverser out of one. So we got a little bit to do to prep to get ready. So let's check our, let's see, where's our first engine, which is right here. This is the one I was in. We don't have to mess with this one. This one's already set up for trail, but this one is not. So, what we're going to do, let's see, we're going to turn that to trail. We're going to cut this out. We'll leave that released. We'll open up that. And I think what you do with this one is it's like break off or something. Handle off. Alright, right there. And then of course we want to take the reverser out. Alright, so now this train is ready to go. We'll override the banking comm system with the front engine, but this is how you got to get it set up. You can turn off all the lights, but basically you want the other engines to mimic this. You want it to be trail, and shut your doors, because we're going to get out of here once we make sure all this is correct. Alright, trail. Nothing was ever set up. You see how this handle is up here on brake handle off. We are good. We don't have to turn all these on, but I do. No. I do, just in case it doesn't want to power up. We're just making sure that we're going to get power from our locomotive, so we're going to have to go back through the front ones, because I did forget to do that. Alright, should be trail. Make sure all of this is on. Looks good. And that's just freight, so. Alright. Double check everything again, because we don't want to get on a grade and find out we're only pulling with like half our engines, or brakes are dragging, they fail, and then we get to a traumatic crash. We're not looking for that. I don't feel like getting fired on my second job here. But anyways, alright, so that's on, that's ready. I ain't worried about the number lights on the other one. I'm walking all the way back there for that. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about these doors. Yeah, you're not supposed to leave the engine doors open if you're not occupying this locomotive. And same thing with the windows, but you know, whatever. Alright, we got that on there. Let's check our next one. Ain't too far from it, guys. We're fixing to be pulling out of here. This is our last locomotive to check. Yep, it's gonna need that, that. Alright, everything else is good. Number lights. Alright. And we'll check our the EC44 over here, or ES44, I think that's what it is. Let's see. I think it said ES44. Yeah, ES44. Okay. So this is going to be a different setup for this one. So what you want to check, one, leave these doors open. Don't even close them. This thing just gets in the way. But you want to go up in here, make sure distributive power is on. You don't need a refrigerator because nobody ain't going to be back here. You want your number lights on, which is right there. You don't have to turn on any of these lights because the other train is going to do it. You want your generator filled on because obviously you want this one making power. And you want to see what the air brake system is set up, which is cut out and trail, which is perfect. That's what we need. And you don't want your banking comm on back here, because you do not want this one to be controlling everything. So, I'm going to do that. Oh, let me go ahead and do this so I can get across. Alright. Alright guys, that's it. We're back up to the front. We are fixing to be getting ready to go. I got to look for us a place to park at the Cresson yard real quick before we can go. We got to let dispatch know what's going on. Lead. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to make sure that this banking comm system is on. Alright, double check. We're lead, cut out. Alright, so now it's time to let dispatch and make sure your whole train's lit up. So we're good. So we're going to take this up to, now what we're probably going to have to do is come in here. I don't think they're going to have us unload it. We're just going to leave the train. We're going to pull the train up into here, and I'll figure out, you know, if we're going to be picking up other engines or not. So the rail that we're going to be coming down is Yeah, right here, because this is going to be where your cut track is, where we can back up the line. Invalid destination. Huh, that's weird, because I'm coming from all the way back here, and why couldn't that be a valid destination? Please don't tell me I'm going to have to call back up dispatch. I know they're not having me drop 40 cars here. There is not a crossover anywhere all the way up. How am I supposed to deliver to that? Oh, okay. So it's got a thing across the way, but I don't know how I'm supposed to get onto that other line though. I think I do see it. I see how we're gonna have to get up here. Here's where the switch track is. It lets me get over 1, that lets me get over to 2, lets me get over to 3. So we're gonna have to come up to, with as long as this train is, we're probably gonna have to come up to one of these, I wanna say. It's kind of hard to tell because my train's really long and we got to get through here and to load it there, which is going to be a complete back end. So we'll just give ourselves some breathing room and we'll bring it all the way up to here. Alright. Once we get there, dispatch will get us backed into there. But alright guys, sorry about all that map stuff, but I was just showing you how to do this, because sometimes it can get complicated if you do not click on the right track, and you kind of have to route yourself. It ain't going to work right. But if there's a will, there is a way. So let's get this train on its way. Alright. Forward. Power up to 2. And whenever you're doing this, check your smoke. Actually kind of stomp on it. Yeah, you see all 4 of your engines, or 6 actually, are giving off diesel fumes. So let's catch this takeoff. Dump the brake. It shouldn't take very much more than 2. With as much power as we got, yeah, it's rolling easy. Alright, let's get the drone moving. Fly over this train and see what we got going on. We're still in a 10 miles per hour spot, so going over that crossing up there, I guess. Yeah, like I said, guys, this is going to be a pretty long train, and they are loaded with coal. So yeah, it's going to be a... Dang, I didn't figure a 40-car train would be this long. So used to hauling the smaller ones, I guess. Alright, let's get this drone turned around. Ooh, let's not hit anything. All these empties they gonna have to fill up. I guarantee you whenever we get back, we're gonna have empties galore. We'll fly over here and check out these engines too. We'll come back and get you. We're gonna go load up some coal cars. I'll see if I can talk to dispatch and get that job. It may not work in here. I think they gotta have a special person who loads them, so. But that's cool. We can still haul the full ones. Got this drone moving, son. We gotta get back up front and figure out what's going on. Oh, that's cool. Right here next to a neighborhood. Alright, so we're not quite out on the main line yet, but we're getting there. Alright, yeah. See, all our number lights are on except for this one, which is, you know, that's fine. We got majority of our engines on, so. And then, of course, the wonderful bell. Technically in real life, you would actually have to have that bell on right now until we get up above, like, I think it's like, whoa, drone, what is going on? Guess we had a interruption in signal there. Just interrupt this bell. I wish I could interrupt it permanently. Alright, we're up underneath a 45 miles per hour zone. We're keeping it up underneath 10 right now. Because our trailers are not in a 45 miles per hour zone for sure. So if we take off flying, we could derail the end of our train, and that ain't what we're going for. Check the outside view while we're just hanging out here to get out of this 10 miles per hour. Man, I'm telling you, dude, I love the scenery in this. Tell you what, I'd be down there fishing, son. I would be fishing my tail off if I wasn't at work. But then again, I don't know which one I would like better, driving trains or fishing. I think I would stick with driving trains, because driving trains pays for fishing and a good retirement. I've did a lot of research in that career because I couldn't keep it for very long because of my eyes, but man, I could have. Retiring in the railroad, man, that is a really, really good place. Dadgum, what happened to the window to that house over there? It looked like it was all smashed in, but anyways, you can see how easily I get distracted, but go ahead. Okay, I do got the windows open, but yeah, man, it's a good career. You can retire really early, you know, have the rest of your life to have fun, be able to put your kids through college. It's a really good career. And a lot of this stuff's, it's almost damn near computer controlled now. So, I mean, you really got to be just acting stupid to mess up this job. As long as you follow the rules and the instruction and do what dispatch says and don't cut corners, you won't ever have no problems unless it's a mechanical failure. And then again, you know, that's not necessarily your fault. But that's a good thing, because see, that's what these two engines are going up there to Altoona, is to be maintenance. So one way or another, we're still going to be driving these trains no matter what comes at us. And Cresson, if we got to pull some empties out of there and haul them up to Altoona, but we got to drop off these two ES44s. So I like 44 AC. Yeah, we'll go with that. 44 AC. That sounds better. Something about the ES just doesn't roll off the tongue very well. Anyways, we're still in a 10 miles per hour zone, so I'll put the drone out. Just do a lock in on it. Let it do a slow by. Going a little bit over the speed limit, but not much. was kind of hoping to catch another train going through. We'll get lucky though, another one will pass by. Now the tail end is just now coming up underneath and going with this town. Or up underneath the bridge where we was looking out the window earlier. I'm surprised we ain't come out of this 10 miles per hour zone yet. Oh, there's where it is, right there. Okay, so that's the reason why it's holding me at 10, because we got to switch over to another track. Put it back out again. Alright, we're just barely cruising. Let's get this thing going. Almost done come to a stop. That means our grade's getting bigger. Pretty good. We're only pulling 420 amps right now, so 430 amp. Yeah, see, as this amperage goes up right here, this effort per kilopound, that means that your grade is going up if you're not changing your throttle. That means the grade's getting ever so slightly, you know, higher. Because it'll pull more load on your engine whenever that happens. Let's see what we can get with 4. Okay. We don't want to go too much over 10 miles per hour. We can probably get away with like 5 over. We'll not have to worry about wrecking anything, but be getting no calls from dispatch neither. Why are you speeding a total of 1 miles per hour over? I don't know. My gauge says I'm doing 10. Oh, yes. That scared me for a second. I didn't realize I was going to be that close to the horn. Could have been some kids in that car who just loved that, or I just made some people mad at their house. Probably a mixture of both. Oh, come on, let me get out of this 10 miles per hour area by now. Alright, let's look at our map real quick and see if our train's done cleared it. Nope, but it is about to be, and we should be cut loose in just a second. There we go, 45. That's what I was looking for. Now, you don't want to just jump on it We'll do one click, watch the amperage. Okay, another click. 600 amp. This thing should, I mean, it should take off. Give it another notch. Alright. Oh, I thought we had a crossing up here. Alright. Get that out. We'll go ahead and put the drone back out again and catch this part through town. See, I know right now we're doing 25 miles per hour because that's how fast my camera can move. And if a train starts pulling the camera back in its direction, that means we done broke 25 miles per hour. Yep, 26, probably 27. Maybe we'll get lucky and catch a train on the way back up. Other than that, we're smooth sailing. Got plenty of power for the grade. Ooh, my bad, guys. Trying my best not to give people like motion sickness with this camera, but I mean, if you was really flying a drone, this is what it would be like. So I'll slow down once we get up here. Well, no train this time out. We'll maybe catch another one, because Norfolk Southern normally has like 40 to 50 trains a day that move through here. I'll look that up on Google. So, you know, we're kind of new here, so we're doing some research on the area, seeing how busy they're going to keep us. There you go, come up, and we'll go ahead and land it. Alright, what we got? We're moving at 40 miles per hour, speed limit 60. Let's go ahead and crank this thing up. Alright, we just gave it the full beans now, so we should increase speed pretty fast. Dang, why is this thing only using like barely 370 amp on 8 notches? Huh. So I guess I got a power limiter on me. Ooh, we better watch this, because we just got off of our grade now, so we're going to have to start kicking back our throttle a little bit, probably drop it down to 5. Because I don't haul anything, I'm only licensed for a 50 miles per hour haul. Once I get a little bit, start hauling some chemicals, they'll trust me to drive trains a little bit faster. Let's catch this outside view. Nice little area. Another nice little town or neighborhood over there, I guess. trying not to turn it too quick so we can actually see it. Yeah. Alright. So we're still increasing speed, so we're going to knock it down to 4. And if we're really on a 0% grade, once we get up here, we should be able to knock it completely into 0, and it should, oh, nope, we're pulling back uphill again. I still like the outside view. You can see a lot more. And to the left. And to the right. Big old football field out there. I wonder what football field that is in real life. I wonder what high school that is that's over there. Bet you they get annoyed with this thing every day. Train coming through, train coming through. I don't know where this goes to. See, this was another area I was looking at. We may pull some of our throttle out of it a little bit. We'll keep it at 4. Alright. This is one of the areas I wanted to look at. So it looks like some construction companies are over here. But this is one of the areas that you can pull off at, and it's called Portridge. I'm not really sure what they got, so we're gonna have to pay attention because it's something back that way. I don't know if it's like a chemical plant or concrete, maybe. I think it's a concrete warehouse back there that that takes deliveries too. We'll just have to stop in there, see if we can't get a load from dispatch over to there and see what is actually there. Because I'm new to all of this. I can tell you everywhere about for Eagles Pass, but I haven't learned this one yet. Let's go ahead and put this thing on down. Catch this train climbing up a hill. Big old hill. Alright, it's max the other way. Quick overhead. Ooh, we almost got stuck in a tree. We're only about 6.8 miles away from Cresson, so we'll get a hold of dispatch and figure out what's going on. See about our next load, what engines are we leaving, which ones are we taking. I think a few of the SD40s are going to stay there, but in the work order it was saying something about we may have to pick up more locomotives. So I think we're going to be dropping some off and picking up some. I don't know what freight. Well, maybe I think they said something about hauling a bunch of empties out of there from what I heard on the radio. So maybe so. We'll figure it out once we get there. Alright guys, so we still got about 62 miles away that we are before we make it there. So ain't no wonder why we ain't getting nowhere fast. We're dragging down, but anyways, yeah, another 61 roughly, if you were to, you know, take the scale on it, but on here it's saying it's like 6.1 miles away is where we're going to be stopping it on our first run. So, but anyways guys, let me go ahead and toss this camera on charge, and I'll catch y'all in the next episode. Later.